Now, as is, I guess we should say tradition on this show, because from the first episode now into, I believe we're in episode 18 or 17, we have never had a single episode. There you go. Rurikon is giving you guys hate bats. For the listeners, Rurikon is giving people hate bats. Yes. But we have never had a single episode that doesn't start with drama, which is wild. Considering we do this week.
I think we've had one or two episodes that didn't have drama in the beginning. I'm pretty sure.
Last week we thought there wasn't going to be drama, and then it turned into an hour-long conversation about Asmongold.
Yeah,
yeah. You know, so maybe some, but there's always something happening. But all right, this drama is actually all fun and games aside. Stop having fun if you're having fun at the moment.
Yes.
And listen closely, because this is actually quite bad. Twitch is embroiled in a lot of shit. Twitch made the executive, for those of you that don't know anything about this, Twitch made the executive decision a week ago, more than a week ago, to ban or to suspend Asmongold for 14 days from the platform. Twitch's biggest mistake here was not cleaning house before doing this. You see, because once they suspended Asmon, people started to look very closely at what was actually happening over at Twitch. Now, Rurikon, I don't know if you even know the amount of reverence that there is over at Twitch for Hasan.
I am well aware of it. I am not a Hasan enjoyer.
No.
Because I just don't like a lot of his talking points, but that's fine. I still think that he should have his platform, but the biggest issue that exists right now, and again, I'm not a political streamer. I don't care about politics. I don't do any of this stuff. But to me, when I see what some person says and what somebody else says, and it's just like, okay, so both people are saying terrible things about a race, a whole race of other individuals, yet somehow one is accepted and the other one isn't.
Well,
that's weird.
Not just accepted.
It's just weird.
Yeah, but it's not just about being accepted. And by the way, in this show, we're not going to go into the politics of Israel, Gaza. Like, that would be fucked. We tried that last week, and, you know, no one had fun.
You tried that last week. I'm
no, on my channels, I go into it in very much detail. The problem is just when you want to have that conversation, you can't have it as just a segment of a podcast.
Yeah,
you have to have
it doesn't
like,
work.
That
you
has to be the
go
podcast.
a deep dive. There needs to be a deep dive and all that stuff. And quite frankly, I'm not knowledgeable enough about those topics because these are not things that I can afford to even spend time investigating, because I'm full-time content creator, parent of 2 children. Is like, listen, I have enough problems in my own life. I don't need to be getting involved in Middle Eastern conflicts and all that stuff.
He won't even be able to play the Monster Hunter demo because of
you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. I'm gonna play
you will not play that demo.
I will play that demo.
You will do your father shit. You will do your father shit.
And I will also play that demo. No, I will play the crap out of that demo, bro. 100%.
But all right, so the thing that's disgusting to me about this is Hasan isn't just accepted on Twitch. He's celebrated on Twitch. You have Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch.
Oh, yeah, he gargles on Hasan's nuts all the time.
He said 100%. Openly he loves watching Hasan's content. The entire Twitch staff and the CEO wished Hasan happy birthday on his birthday. And this, by the way, is in the midst.
As far as I'm aware, they've never done that for anybody else.
No. Hasan is literally the first person they're doing this for. And, of course, this is in the midst of Hasan consistently being a certain Austrian painter's favorite pet. Because what Hasan is saying would make certain people whose name starts with H very proud to hear what he is saying. Hasan has continuously denied some of the events of October 7th. He has continuously said that even if these events happened, he doesn't care because, and in his mind, the Palestinian resistance is still learning effectively, which is just, I mean, you want to talk about disgusting. that has to be on the level of what Asmongold said. Like,
see,
it has to be equal.
Here's the thing. You're once again getting involved into the whole politics about what happened in Palestine and you know, all of that stuff. But listen, I just want to make one thing perfectly clear, because I've seen in the comment sections people were misrepresenting my position. I think that when one faction is killing a bunch of people, I don't want a bunch of people to die, because amidst people that might have done something wrong or might have not done something wrong, whatever, there's definitely going to be a whole bunch of innocent people that are going to get killed. There's going to be whole cultures that are going to get annihilated on both sides. So it's like, I just don't want to see, you know, Palestinians getting killed, and I don't want to see Israelis getting killed. I don't want to see anybody getting killed. All right, I want people to be able to live peaceful lives. That's all I want. It's not that hard to not kill people. Okay?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I've lived for 42 years, managed in my 42 years of living not to kill another human being. I don't think that's Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying, maybe accidentally. You know, you dropped a piece of paper, someone bent down to pick up the piece of paper, got hit by a bus,
the butterfly
and
effect.
You didn't even know. Yeah,
because
you didn't know, but it is your fault.
I picked up this plushie right now at this exact moment. Somebody across the world just happened to, you know, take a bullet or something.
Yeah, because of that plushie.
No, no, but it's like that is my position. I wish people would just stop killing each other. That's the way that I look at it, and I don't want to see anybody die.
To clarify, I'm not speaking on the events of October 7th. I am simply saying what Hassan said without any context from my own. But it has to be mentioned that if Hassan says things like this, is that not on the level, at least, of what Asmongold said? And then you ask yourself, how is it that Hassan is still on the platform and Asmongold got suspended? Now, Twitch then made the executive decision.
Because Twitch cares about money. And like, if you actually think about it, Hassan makes them a fuckload of money. You know, oh boys, it's the top of the hour ad break. Here we go. Whereas Asmongold is like on the Zach Rohr channel, which is not monetized, therefore not only not making them any money, at the same time costing them a lot of money, because usually gets like, I don't know, 20,000 concurrents.
It is my understanding that Twitch
even more.
Forced ads onto his channel.
They forced ads?
Yeah. It's my understanding, at least. I've no confirmation on this, but it is my understanding that Twitch basically forced him to run ads on his channel.
Dan Clancy going in there and he's like, "You're gonna eat these ads and you're gonna like them." That's what you're gonna do.
No.
And we're not even gonna pay you for these ads. We're just gonna get them.
Bend over. There's no lube.
But
calm down. Just either way, look ahead.
Like, to me, when it comes to this kind of stuff, like I've already said, I don't like what Asmongold said. I think that what Asmongold said at the time was out of character, and I do think it's ban worthy. But if you are going to ban Asmongold, you're going to have to go ahead and ban a whole lot of other people. It's just that simple. Because you can't just like, oh, I'm going to ban this person, but because this other person aligns with my personal views politically, I'm going to keep them on the platform. It's like, okay. At that point, you no longer enjoy what is the article? There's like article section 330 or whatever the fuck it is that allows you to be a platform. It allows you to host a whole different amount of content without having to worry. You know, you can basically put the responsibility onto the users. That there's a provision.
As long as you don't editorialize.
Exactly. But what they're doing with this is they're editorializing.
Yeah.
Which, at that point, you're no longer a platform. You're a publisher. If you want to be a publisher, that's fine. But you will no longer enjoy the protections of, you know, basically you're responsible for the content that is on the platform as opposed to the users being responsible for the content that they put on the platform, which is a very different approach to things. Now, YouTube has the same problem, by the way.
Yeah.
Because of the 100%. Way in which they enforce their rules. They have a very similar problem.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason these platforms are still allowed to be called platforms is because of greasing political palms.
Yeah, exactly.
Because technically speaking, the only way you can be a platform, and this is literally why that law came into effect, was the only way you can be a platform is if you truly do not editorialize. So you allow everyone to just say whatever the hell they want, and you don't take action because, well, you're just a platform. You're not to blame for the stuff that people do, right? Now, Twitch did act kinda. They banned Frogan and Denims from the platform. Frogan, I believe, got a 30-day ban. I'm not sure how long Denims got. Of course, that's not the problem, because Frogan and Denims is literally just orbiters of Hassan. They got their start within Hassan's community. I believe Frogan is even a mod for Hassan. And from that community, they were able to spin off their hateful nonsense because they heard it from Hassan. Hassan basically gave them the green light to be as hateful as possible. Frogan made the news, and this is where all of this started blowing up, when she made a quip on her live stream where she wished all American soldiers and veterans to get PTSD and delete themselves in real life. She laughed at
she
that.
said the delete themselves part, because the clip that I saw only has her wishing PTSD.
No. She wished that they would delete themselves.
See, that's absolutely disgusting. Like, how can you wish other people to get PTSD? I mean, how privileged do you have to be that you just sit there? Like, we're privileged. You and me, we're privileged. We're sitting out here. We're live streaming. We're creating content. Like, this is the fucking dream.
I should just point out, no, you're wrong.
What do you mean?
Because also, according to Hassan, this is worse than coal mining, bro. Like, you and I, we're really the soldiers in the front.
Yeah, we're the soldiers in the front lines. You know, it's like I could easily just go do manual labor right now. That motherfucker probably never did a whole day's worth of manual labor, which I have done, by the way. I've actually worked in metallurgy and, you know, as well as digital printing business. I've done a lot of physical labor, and you know, I think that it was a good thing. It develops character and all that shit, and it keeps you humble when you're doing something like this, which is fucking awesome. Like I said,
it makes you appreciate it.
This is living the fucking dream right here. Yeah. Straight up. No ifs, ands, or 100%. Buts about it. Okay?
Yeah.
I need people to understand. And it's like, we're privileged. Now imagine how privileged you have to be in that position. And at the same time, it's like, you know what? Fuck these soldiers that went to these wars and all this, but fuck them. Get PTSD. And then, like, come on now. What the fuck?
And then when people pointed it out to her, she rewatched her own clip.
And she said based.
Based. You know, which is just, I mean, you cannot, it is vile beyond belief. But you have Mia Khalifa also today, by the way, doing the same thing, wishing the American military all manner of terrible stuff. So it is, make no mistake, it is a massive issue.
But see, this is where, you remember how whenever we talk about stuff like this, I always say that people look at each other as enemies, but they never look to the people above. They're just like, they're divided.
Yeah.
And it's like, you hate the U.S. military. Guess what? They were following orders. You want to hate the U.S. military? Go hate like the generals. Go hate like the fucking, you know, the admirals, all of that stuff. Or, you know, the presidents, all that. Yeah, go hate them. Why do you gotta go hate the soldiers who might, by the way, might have been drafted? It's not even like a choice, because during those days, I believe that it was mandatory, at least in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when the draft went away, but there was drafting in America for a long time.
There was drafting in Portugal as well. It actually went away before I had to do it, so I never did any military service. But
South Africa had it as well. It went away in 1994.
Yeah, so it's like,
for us.
It's like a lot of these people were drafted into this. They had to go do it regardless of their personal beliefs. And you're going to wish PTSD upon them? Do you even know the effects of PTSD? I highly doubt this person even knows a damn thing about PTSD. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, to be fair, they think they get PTSD when someone, you know, cuts in front of the line at Starbucks.
Yeah, road rage?
You know? Yeah. I have PTSD now because of a microaggression that someone did. Someone asked me where I'm from, and now I have PTSD and I have to go to a therapist for months on end. But they don't know what it is, right? Because they're not soldiers. I've heard stories. I watched this documentary on soldiers screaming, waking up in the middle of the night screaming.
It's fucked up.
And most of those soldiers do eventually end up deleting themselves as a result of the stuff that they're going through. And also just a lack of help, because people like you exist that say the most fucked up things about people
I didn't
No,
say
not
these
you.
things.
Like Frogan and Mia Khalifa, that say the most fucked up things about a lot of soldiers, by the way, that would be willing to die for you.
Yes, they would be willing to die so that you can sit there and enjoy your freedom of live streaming and having a much better life than they ever did. It's fucked up. It's 1,000,000% fucked up.
And it's interesting to me that you have people like Mia Khalifa and Frogan, people whose parents or they themselves escaped the tyranny of Middle Eastern countries, moved to America, get all of the benefits of the American society, and then criticize America because America isn't like the places that their parents escaped from. It's like, dude, what are we doing here? These people should just be deported back to their home countries. Go live with the people that you think are so much better.
We're getting too deep in the weeds here. What I'm saying is, I think it's disgusting what Frogan said, and
I agree.
At the same time, I also think it's disgusting some of the stuff that Asmongold has said, because I know that people are like, oh, so you guys are defending because the U.S. military is being, but you didn't defend when the Palestinians were called an inferior culture. It's like, no. I disagree with both things. I think they're both terrible things to say, but I think that if you're going to allow Frogan to say this nasty shit about the U.S. military, then you also need to allow you need to allow Asmongold to go ahead and say nasty ass shit about the Palestinians, which is fucking terrible on both ends. Both ends are fucking terrible as far as I'm concerned, and these are terrible things to say, and these are not things that I want to get involved in any way, shape, or form. But now you need to be consistent with your rule enforcement, and by the way. It's the same thing for Hassan. I still cannot believe that Hassan never served a single day of suspension for saying that America deserved 9/11, which is magnitudes of fucked up.
Frogan ran a subathon. Frogan ran a subathon. My video on this, covering this, is going live right after the show. Frogan ran a subathon where the $6,250 reward was her and two of her friends baking a cake of the Twin Towers with a plane next to it. It's like what? Dude,
do you understand that there's people that lost, like, I don't remember what the numbers were in terms of casualties.
More than 3,000 at least.
But it's like, do you understand that entire family units were destroyed because of this?
Yeah.
Like, do you understand that this is something that a lot of people will never recover from psychologically? Like, this was a terrible event. And by the way, I'm sitting over here comfortable all the way out in Portugal, just like chilling. I was literally playing Diablo 2 when this shit was happening, and I was watching it on the TV, and I was like, what the fuck? Because you never forget where you're at when something like this happens. I remember it was a CRT television, like sitting right next to me, and I was watching the news, and I was like, logged into Battle.net, and I was like, what the crap is going on?
Dude,
and
the wildest
it's like, it's something that I will never forget as somebody that lives in Portugal.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody that was actually in the States at the time, living this.
I remember walking into our living room. I was still young, and my aunt and my mother crying, watching the footage of 9/11. Crying. Literally crying for the suffering that is currently happening in America. So I remember it literally vividly, and I'm in South Africa, right? A country that couldn't be further away from America. So to make jokes about this is just disgusting. To say that they deserved it is just disgusting. And the fact that he's not been suspended for it just shows the absolute hypocrisy of it all. But you might be sitting here thinking, Akalon, Rurikon, why does this matter to us as gamers and viewers? I'll tell you why. Because Frogan, there's clips of her now where they did a panel at TwitchCon, by the way. A panel where they ranked people, and the ranking list was Arab, S tier, and Zionist, but they didn't call them Zionist. They made hummus reference. Right, so they took a famous hummus brand and they had that as the bottom tier, and they sat there and they ranked people as Arab coded. They're the best people in the world, and then everyone else is just terrible. Ethan Klein and his wife are at the bottom. Just this massive racist joke at TwitchCon, with sponsors in the fucking background. Like, literally, the sponsorships are in the background.
Because sponsors don't give a fuck if you're racist. They don't care.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Unless public perception notices it.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? The issue is, for those of you that don't remember, there was a time where you could say literally anything on YouTube and nothing would ever happen. You would get monetized, you would make money, no one gave a shit. And then came the dreaded yellow button. The yellow button means no money for anyone, right? And that was the demonetization era of YouTube. It happened because of shit like this, where advertisers saw their videos popping up next to Nazi propaganda videos and shit, and advertisers were like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? And they stopped advertising, and YouTube had to fix their shit. This is coming to Twitch.
So what Akalon is pointing out is like the way that this is going to affect you is even if you just, you know, all you watch is gaming content and all of that stuff, a lot of those creators will eventually be losing privileges basically because sponsors will start pulling out on account of the fact that the platform is becoming a toxic cesspool of racist ideology and all of that stuff. But, you know, like I said, to me, look, Twitch, you do whatever the hell you want. Just try to enforce your rules accordingly to your principles. That's it. It's like, and if you believe that some people are allowed to watch just blatant terrorist propaganda on their websites and react to that, that's fine. If that's your policy, but just in that case, you can't really complain when some other content creators engage in racist tirades and shit like that. Which,
you see, but to me, it actually.
As far as I'm concerned, leave it all public so that everybody can see what everybody else is doing and everybody can make up their own minds about the content creators. Unless they're inciting violence and calls to violence and all that bullshit. But yeah, if they're just doing edgy, dumb shit, whatever, leave them all up. But if you don't want to leave them all up, then ban everyone. Ban everyone equally. Apply the rules equally to everyone. That's all I got to say. It gets
worse, actually. It's as bad as you just said, but it's actually much worse than that. So for those of you that don't know, Twitch has never made any money, ever. Amazon's purchase of Twitch was the game plan was the same as Google's purchase of YouTube. Google knew that they weren't going to make any money off of YouTube, and they didn't. For the first decade and a half, YouTube made no money. YouTube only started turning a profit in 2016, 2017 for the first time, and now YouTube is massively profitable. But before this, YouTube was just basically a drain on the resources of Google. But Google knew that there was a long-term plan. The problem is that Amazon's gamble with Twitch did not pay off in the same way. Amazon has owned Twitch for more than a decade now, and Twitch is still not making any money. In fact, it's gotten to the point now where Twitch is starting to cut massive resources from, or Amazon is starting to cut massive resources from Twitch. Dan Clancy has outright said that there are severe budgeting constraints on Twitch already because Amazon wants Twitch to turn profit, and Twitch is struggling to turn profit. Now, what happens? Because remember, Twitch finally realized what YouTube realized years and years and years ago. The money is in advertising. That's where you make the money. Not from YouTube subscribers or not from subs, because yes, some people will sub, but as every streamer will tell you, the overwhelming majority of your viewers will not sub. They just watch, right? You're basically supported by a small number of your own community. So you're never going to make your money that way.
Which, by the way, I would just like to point out that sometimes there are people that try to guilt people into subbing and shit like that. Yeah. Those people are fucking scumbags. Even just watching is a great way to just support another streamer. If you can engage with stuff like when it comes to YouTube with the like button and all of that stuff, like that stuff helps immensely. You don't need to give streamers money to support them. Like you watching 100%. Is already a massive amount of support. And anybody who tells you otherwise is a fucking moron.
Agreed, right? And I'm not mentioning this because I think people should give me or anyone else money.
I just want to make it perfectly clear because there's a lot of gaslighting going on with some streamers where they're like, you should give me money because I'm here provide. It's like, motherfucker, you're a clown. You do your little clown dance and you shut the fuck up. You take what money it's given to you, and that's that.
I'll put it to you this way. If I have 100 viewers, would I rather the 100 viewers all subscribe, but only 10 people chat? Or 10 people subscribe, but 100 people chat? I'd rather have 100 people chatting, because that means chat is moving. I have something to interact with. The stream is lively. I'm having fun. Chat's having fun. So I'd rather have 10 people sub, 100 people chatting than the other way around. Because if you only have 10 people chatting, it's very difficult to keep the conversation going. It's very difficult. So there's people who absolutely don't sub. And I have people in my community who's never subbed, but they chat and like a motherfucker. Yep. And they keep things alive, and they make jokes, and they spam emotes when it's cool. And they that's their way of giving to the community, because new viewers come in, they see chat is moving, and they're like, oh, this is a community that's alive. We have to hang out here. You know, so everyone does their part. Even the lurkers do their part, because they get the number higher means higher rankings. So everyone does their part. But the point is, from Amazon and Twitch's perspective, viewer money will never actually make you profitable. You need that ad money. What happens when the advertisers finally go, no? Because we could end up next to Hassan's stream right after Hassan says America deserves 9/11. A Pepsi ad shows up, and Pepsi goes, fuck? Like,
Hassan's community goes, based. Like based Pepsi, based Coca-Cola.
So you can imagine how, for a company like Pepsi and Coke, this is unacceptable, right? And the Rumble CEO just came out yesterday in an interview and basically said he came out? Twitch. He came out of the closet for once. I never heard him speak before, but he came in an interview and he said he gives Twitch 4 more years. In the next 4 years, Amazon will either sell Twitch.
That's in his best interest to say something like that. Come on. It's in his best interest. He's talking to his competition.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think in this instance, like, even someone that has a bias can be correct about the things that they're saying. If you take into account that Twitch isn't making money, despite their best efforts, they're still not making money. And if advertisers actually do start to pull out, Amazon may just look at this thing and go, you know what, fuck it. There's better ways for us to make money.
There's like a hidden, there's in a way a hidden value to Twitch, which is in its community. So long as Twitch has the community that it has, the website will have value, even if it's not monetary value. I don't think they're going to shut it down anytime soon. Even within the next 4 years, I don't think that is the case. I could be wrong, but I almost feel like we've been hearing about Twitch's demise for the last decade, and yet it's still going. It's like the Nintendo Switch 2. Every other week, somebody comes out, guys, this is the week. Big news, Nintendo Switch Pro is coming out. And then nothing ever happens. It's like, well, yeah, but you keep saying that every other week, and eventually you're going to be right. It's the same thing with Twitch going away.
You would like to point out
every other month that the site is going to go down. Eventually, you're going to be right, but I don't think we're anywhere close to Twitch going away.
I just want to point out, just because something has been said for a long time, like, at some point it will be true. The reason, you have to look at the reasons why people have been saying this for a long time. No matter what Twitch does, no matter how much they try to monetize that site, they never even get close to breaking even. They continuously lose I think the last time was hundreds of millions of dollars that's lost on Twitch every single quarter, right? So Twitch is a money sink at this point. And from Amazon's perspective, if the advertisers now pull out, Amazon may just go, you know what, no, we're done. This isn't worth it. Not for us. Because remember, if Twitch comes under fire, the journalists are going to write about Amazon. And now Amazon is doing this. And Amazon famously tries to steer clear of too much nonsense, right? Because they want everyone to buy, and they don't really get involved politically too much in anything. So this could cause massive blowback. I don't think they'll shut it down, because you are correct. There is value in the viewership and the community that's built there. I do think they'll sell it. The question is, to who? In this instance, I think YouTube will probably be very interested in buying Twitch, because YouTube live streaming has never really gotten off the ground. And
Dude, I disagree with that so much. Every time I hear people saying YouTube live streaming hasn't gotten off the ground, and yet whenever there's a major event, YouTube numbers are always bigger than Twitch numbers.
Yeah, but
listen, what the thing is that people don't understand, and this is just like a misconception, and this is one of the reasons why you know that guy that came from Twitch to a YouTube contract and then completely bombed, Mythic?
Yeah.
I believe is his name. He used to be massive on Twitch. Then he came to YouTube and he completely bombed. The reason why is because people think that they can treat a YouTube stream like a Twitch stream. And these are two fundamentally different things. You can't just stream on YouTube the same way that you stream on Twitch. Because the idea is that a stream on YouTube needs to be an event. So it's like, let me just tell you something. What is the biggest audience that you've ever had on your most successful live stream on Twitch?
On Twitch, I think it was 1,000 something viewers. Just over 1,000 viewers.
Okay. 1,000 something viewers. That's impressive. That's a lot of people, a lot of concurrence watching. Was it a World of Warcraft stream? I would take
it was it was BlizzCon.
Yeah, of course. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Now, I'm gonna give you an example. I would have gotten that 1,000 viewers if I was to have streamed Monster Hunter during Gamescom on Twitch. I would probably have gotten those 1,000 viewers.
Yeah.
You want to know how many I got on YouTube? 10,000.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same story because I stream, right? I stream to both YouTube and Twitch. My YouTube stream was over 3,000 viewers. So I do agree with you, right?
There you go. But so it's like... So it's not that YouTube streams haven't taken off.
No, they haven't. Because what you're not focusing on is what people want from streaming is everyday gameplay, normal streams. YouTube cannot compete with Twitch on that. Just cannot. And I can prove that. If I stream simultaneously to both YouTube and Twitch, my YouTube will have 20, 30 viewers, maybe 40 at the most. My Twitch will have between 60, 70, 80, 90 viewers, right? Yeah. So YouTube does not compete on everyday streams with Twitch.
But that's because you're taking a very specific example of your community. Your community started on Twitch. Most of your community is on Twitch, and they're not willing to go to another website just because that's where you are, which is understandable. I have the same situation. Most of my community is on YouTube, and they're not willing to go to Twitch if I happen to stream on Twitch. This is just because communities will usually form on certain websites because of their content creation, consumption habits, all of that stuff. There's a million different reasons why it happens, but fundamentally, it takes a lot for somebody to follow a creator across platforms. Like you need to be a massive creator like a Ninja or, you know, that level, basically, right? Or
Shroud,
but
I feel like we have the numbers, right? We can see how streamers that took the bag from YouTube and moved to YouTube lost a third, sometimes 2/3 of their viewership over the course of a month. Because YouTube, everyday gaming streams cannot compete with what Twitch is doing. Because people go to Twitch for that experience, right? That's why they go there. YouTube.
But events... YouTube
events is YouTube.
Crushes Twitch on events.
This is exactly
it. But that's the thing. That's where YouTube took off, where a lot of people are always saying that, oh, YouTube never took off. It's just the biggest thing about YouTube is the chat experience. The chat experience is not as good on YouTube as it is on Twitch.
I'd say chat and mod experience, and also to some extent the stream experience, but the streaming experience isn't that bad.
But the thing is, when it comes to streaming on YouTube, you get 10 times more than 10 times the quality that you get on Twitch.
Yeah.
Because Twitch is still stuck in fucking 100 bit rate. 6,000 bit rate, bro. It's 2024. 6,000 bit rate at pixels the size of my thumb, bro. Come on now. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, but remember what we're talking about here. We're talking about YouTube might be interested in purchasing Twitch because it brings Twitch into the ecosystem.
100%,
and it solves the problem that YouTube cannot solve themselves because they can't get that community to grow in the same way on YouTube. So now they have the events and they have the daily live stream drivers,
100%.
right?
No, it's like what I'm saying in no way goes against what you're saying, that YouTube would be one of the most interested websites in picking up Twitch if that happens to be an option for them. 100%. I 1,000,000% agree. I just always disagree because I hear this misconception that like people always talk about YouTube live streams as if they're a failure, and I'm like, no, you're wrong.
No. For events, they're amazing.
They're not a failure at all. You just can't stream the same way that you stream on Twitch because it's a fundamentally different way of doing things.
Yeah, 100%. But fundamentally, that's the fear, right? The fear is that Amazon gets rid of it, and YouTube buying it will be the best case scenario. There are people that will buy that platform, and then they'll make major screw-ups. Remember, Twitch is the only live streaming platform that survived. You have Mixer that completely died. Facebook Gaming completely died. No one uses that anymore.
Jesus
and even though they
Christ.
went super hard, they couldn't do it, right? There's plenty of other sites that tried it. YouTube is the only one that survived. Twitch is the only one that survived it.
Dude,
and continues to go.
What if Elon Musk buys Twitch?
Oh, man. I wouldn't be surprised because he wants to turn X into an everything platform. He could just buy Twitch.
Just buys Twitch.
Yeah, spell it TWXT because he fucking wants everything to be X. And bam, right? He has Twitch.
He would just embed Twitch streams on X, and then he wouldn't have to develop his own streaming technology. He would just embed it, and boom, done.
Yeah, but he'd have access to everything. So yeah. But it is a terrible situation that we find ourselves in, and I really hope that Dan Clancy and the team wake up and realize that while Hassan might be the golden boy, because he is the most subscribed to streamer on Twitch.
He's not. That's Kai
in terms
Cenat.
of
At least.
In terms of per capita. So for the amount of viewers he has, he makes more money than anyone else. So he makes bank for Twitch. Because
but he's a socialist, though. What do you mean?
No. You don't understand. If you listen to his community will say to you, he lives in the world. And that's why he's allowed to enrich himself. Because
bare necessities budget. I've heard.
Yeah. The $3 million mansion of the socialist dictator. But yeah, who am I to judge? His community is stupid enough to believe it, so we'll go with that.
And by the way, guys, we're not sitting here being like, oh, we're against capitalism. It's like, no, we're just against hypocrisy. Those are two very different things.
Dude, I am a staunch capitalist. I think if you can get the bag, get the bag. But you see, I'm consistent in my views. I think if you're going to get rich, get rich. But I'm not a socialist. He should be giving his money away, all of it to taxes, really. Exactly. But anyways, that's the Twitch drama segment of the stream or of the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Let's move on to gaming. More gaming.
Yeah,
yes.
Definitely. But let's just hope that Twitch wakes up and realizes this is a bad situation for everyone involved.
It's time for you to make the move to YouTube, brother.
I'm already streaming on YouTube, so it's whatever.